it is so hot out here.
Today is a brief recap of the 2015 thriller The Bad Sister, which describes an intimate encounter between a Catholic school student and a nun, but we'll take our time and go over everything in order. Their parents bring brother Jason and sister Zoe to a Catholic school for a new school year, and there they are greeted by sister Rebecca, who leads the sibling into the building's enclosure. After a while, Rebecca arrives at her office, where she welcomes a new teacher, Sister Sophia. Rebecca asked her about her past job and made her wash off her makeup. Then Rebecca took her on a tour of the school. There they meet Jason. Sophia liked him immediately and looked after him for a long time. She pulls out her laptop and finds the guy on the social network, where it turned out he's a musician and has over 10,000 fans. Girl comes up and kisses the screen with a picture of the guy. We are shown Sophia walking into the classroom and seeing Jason being seduced by a girl named Sarah. Sophia cannot handle it and moves Sarah. Then suggests the students do their morning prayer, but she doesn't know the words, and Zoe notices this and becomes alarmed. A few hours later, Jason goes to his room. There Sophia stops him and asks if he has a girlfriend, to which the boy replies what he does not. Sophia smiles, wishes the boy good night and leaves. The next day, Sarah meets Jason, and after a little dialogue, she kisses the boy, which Sophia notices and threatens them with a reprimand. After the class, the nun asks John to come into her room because the guy is guilty and need to talk to him. Next, we see Sophia in her room completely naked, wearing headphones, leaving the door open so she wouldn't hear the guy come in. She knew he would be watching and started rubbing oil on herself. Jason sees this and runs away. Later we see what the guy cannot sleep at night, remembering the body of the hot nun. Later Jason goes home for the weekend, and the nun, unable to resist temptation, go to spy on Jason, hears him playing guitar and notices what her rival Sarah is calling Jason, which she really doesn't like. Sophia then returns to school, where she sneaks into the girl's room. There Sarah was living. The nun puts the forbidden substance in Sarah's book and leaves the room. However, Rebecca shows up and sees the sister enter the girl's room. Sophia explained what she thought she saw someone enter, but found no one. The next day during class, a nun finds weed in Sarah's book, and after all investigations, the girl is expelled from school. After the scandal, Sophia offers to check all the rooms for greater safety. In the next scene, we see the nuns come to check Jason's room and find a bottle of whiskey, what Sophia also planted, where Jason denies everything, but sister Rebecca wants maximum punishment for the boy. But Sophia saves John from explosion and says what alcohol is not a drug, and the best punishment would be stay the weekend and help the teachers. Next, during Sophia's conversation with the Holy Father, are we showing the girl's memories of loving Jason for a long time and killing a real nun to be closer to him. Over the weekend, Zoe tells Jason what she won't go home to watch her brother, and not without reason. She notices sister Sophia seducing Jason while she works in the school garden. At night, the nun walks into Jason's room. He was alone since everyone had gone home, and Jason is still under house arrest. The girl turns on the video on her phone and begins to undress, at which point Jason wakes up. Sophia approaches and gently kisses the boy, after which they do so. In the morning, the lovers meet in the park and agree what no one will say anything to anyone. Jason goes to breakfast and Sophia goes to the boy's room and starts sniffing his clothes. But then Jason's sister enters. The nun abruptly hides his clothes and throws the girl out on the grounds. What she should not be in the men's ward. A nun tries to set Jason's sister up. She gives her a bad grade on a test and then puts a paper with the correct answer on it. And then Sophia leaves, Zoe takes it, and then Sophia enters the classroom and accuses the girl and then tells sister Rebecca everything. But Zoe had a good reputation and was forgiven. Next we see Jason go to church to pray and absolve himself for that night with Sophia. But a nun sits in the booth instead of the Holy Father. And then she goes in to see the boy and then they have it all over again. The next morning sister Rebecca meets the bishop who personally knows the real Sophia. The girl realizes this and quickly packs her bags to leave, but is met by Rebecca. Sophie tricks Rebecca and tells her what her aunt is in the hospital and she has to visit her aunt. A few hours later we see Jason at the family table where he and his father have a conflict, after which the guy goes to Sarah's party. There the girl takes Jason to her room and starts seducing the guy, but he remembers his night with the nun and refuses. After the party a policeman stops him and wants to take him to a station, but a nun shows up and convinces the man to let him go. They return home and the girl persuades Jason to go with her to Paris. Sophia says she is very rich and Jason will not need the money and they will be happy, but the young man doesn't need the money, so he leaves. In the morning during class, sister Rebecca walks into the classroom and tells what Sarah is reinstated. Next, at the end of class, Sophia asks John to stay and tells him to stop seeing Sarah, but he doesn't like it and leaves the class. Sophia decided to teach her a lesson herself and goes to Sarah's shower and beat her up. Then she spreads soap in the bathroom to make everyone think she slept on her own. The next day Jason's family decides to have a family dinner at a restaurant and suddenly sister Sophia shows up to meet Jason's family. The nun says she has come from her aunt's funeral and decided to have dinner. Jason's family offers to join them for dinner. Meanwhile, sister Rebecca calls the hospital where Sophia's imaginary aunt was laid up and learns the truth, what there is no aunt. After dinner, Zoe and her brother go home to find out what's going on between him and Sophia, where Jason tells her the truth. The nun is stalking the boy. She shot everything on video and if Sophia posts everything on the internet, Jason will be expelled from school. The sibling guesses what Sophia is not who she says she is and decides to find out all the information about her on her laptop. A few hours later, Rebecca calls Sophia for a talk. She tells her everything, knowing the whole truth and realizing what Sophia is not a nun, at which point the girl takes a table lamp and beats Rebecca. The sibling find her laptop and learn what the nun's real name is, Laura Butterson, and want to tell Rebecca, but her room is locked. And then they run to the church where they meet Sophia and tell her what they know, truth, and will tell everyone. A fight ensues during which Sophia knocks Zoe out and beats Jason. And then Rebecca comes to the rescue. A non-fight breaks out between them, but Jason stabs Sophia in the back with the screwdriver he used to open the doors and the girl goes down for good.